Turn to page 551, please. We're talking about advanced complex roots today, and this is nothing new. We've already done this. The exception is when we did it before, we came out with perfect angles, like a 30 or a 45 or a 60-degree angle or a quadrantal angle, and that's not going to happen on today's. So 95.1 says find the 4 fourth roots of 6 plus 4i. So just like what we did before, we have to draw a sketch. Over 6, up 4. So we need the length of the hypotenuse and we need the angle. And 4 and 6 just aren't a special triangle. So if we use Pythagorean theorem, for that we'll have c squared is equal to 4 squared plus 6 squared, or c squared equals 16 plus 36. Okay, so c would be equal to 2 times the square root of 13. And then to find this angle inside, we would need to use inverse tangent. Now, because we're finding the 4 fourth roots, we really need a decimal value for this. So I'm going to multiply 2 times the square root of 13 and see what we get, 7.21. And up here we'll say the tangent of theta is opposite over adjacent, or 4 over 6. So remember, in the calculator you put in second tangent 4 divided by 6. So I get 33.69 for theta. Now that's just the first angle. That's not the 4 fourth roots. So the angle itself is, or the way we would write it is 7.21 cis 33.69. That's the original. So now we need the 4 fourth roots of 7.21. So we'll take 7.21 we can go to math and go down to, actually put in a 4 first because we're taking the 4 fourth roots, and then go to math and hit number 5 with the x in front of it, and then put in 7.21. So that gives us 1.64. We have 4 of them, so write it down 4 times. And remember, we have cis, 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 cis. The beauty of this is I haven't seen them ever ask you to put it back into rectangular form. It'll be asking us to leave it in polar form like this one does. Now remember, we take 33.69 and divide it by 4. Which gives us 8.42. Okay, now because we were taking the 4 fourth roots, remember we take 360 and we divide it by 4. So each time we go around, the angle is going to differ by 90 degrees because 360 divided by 4 is 90. So add 90 here and you'll get 98.42. Add 90 again. You get 188.42, and then add 90 again and you get 278.42. So there are the 4 fourth roots. Okay, let's try another one. It says find the 5 fifth roots of minus 17 minus 14i. So what did we say we have to do first? Right, draw a sketch. Okay, so negative 17, negative 14, so we need this. Now remember, this angle is measured from here around to here. So when we find this, we're going to have to add 180 to it to start with. So we use Pythagorean theorem. C squared will be equal to 17 squared plus 14 squared. 17 squared is 289. Plus 14 squared is 196. Add those together. 485. So C is going to be the square root of that. And we might as well go ahead and get a decimal value for that. So I want second square root of the answer, 22.02. Okay. So we know that that goes out in front. Now we need this angle here. That would be tangent of theta is equal to 14 over 17. So we put in the calculator second tangent 14 divided by 17. And we get 3.37. Except that I didn't divide the right number. Sorry. I have not the right thing in here. I put in 1 divided by 17 instead of 14 divided by 17. Okay, now let's see. That's better. 39.47. But that's what this is right here. The angle we need is from here around to here. So we have to add 180 to that. So the actual angle is 219.47. So the problem in polar form is 22.02 cis 219.47. Now we're actually ready to do the problem. We haven't done anything to get the answers yet. So we need to take the fifth root of 22.02. So I'm going to put in a 5, go to go to math, and where is it? Math. Number 5. And the number is 22.02. So that's 1.86. So I write that down 5 times. And cis. And then we take 219.47 and divide it by 5. And we get 43.89. So that's the first angle. And then we come back over here and we say, well, 360 divided by 5 is 72. So we add 72 each time. So if we add 72 here, we get 115.89. Add 72 again, we get 187.89. Add 72 again, we get 259.89. And finally add 72 again and we get 331.89. All right, so there are the 5 fifth roots of minus 17 minus 14i. Same concept as we did before, it's just that they're not exact numbers. We have to use the calculator to get the approximation for it. All right, thank you.